Hello, lovey doves, and welcome back to another episode of Diary of a Happy Black Woman, a Solo Chronicles, part of the Solo Chronicles series. So today, you already know that we're going to be talking about long-distance dating. Should you be in a long-distance relationship? Before we jump to the topic today, quick introduction. My name is Alexandra Ashcroft. I'm a romance and erotic fiction author. I have published content all over, including Amazon, Barnes & Noble's, iBooks, Radish Fiction app. I publish free content to Wattpad. And make sure you check out my website. I have links to all of my content and where it's located there on my website. Sign up for my email list if you want to keep up to date on what's coming next and what's coming out new. Click like and subscribe to this video for more YouTube content, and follow me on Instagram. I'm the most active on Instagram. I have other accounts, but I'm most active there. All my socials will be linked in the description box below. All right, let's get into it. Long distance dating. So this is tricky. This is a tricky topic because, okay, I'm going to do my disclaimer first. First of all, different strokes for different folks. If it works for you, work it. You know, the comments that I'm making, the things that I'm saying is based off of my personal opinion from not only my own experience, from people's experiences that I know, the people around me, as well as like observation and what I've seen. And yes, so I do think that long-distance relationships works for some people. So if it works for you and it works for your partner, knock yourself out and do that. But as my answer to the question, I would actually say no. I do not think that long-distance relationships are a good idea, and I'm going to explain some of the issues, and this is the reason why I say no. So first of all, when you're in a long-distance relationship, so I feel like when you're looking for a partnership, a long-term relationship or partnership with somebody, you want them to be a part of your life, and they want you to be a part of their life. So when you're long distance, you don't really get to feel the flow of being a part of each other's lives. Because when you go to visit them, you go to spend time with them, or they come to spend time with you, you dedicate a chunk of time to them. So you're like all in with them, or they're all in with you. Well, you're probably all in with each other for the chunk of time that they're with you. And it's like you have this thing in the back of your mind, you know that you're going to leave or they're going to leave. They're going to return to wherever they came from. You're going to return. So you have like this, it's like the time that you spend together is so intense, and you really, like, I don't know, you just like overwhelm yourself with each other for the chunk of time that you're together. And then you go back to where you're coming from, and then you long for them. I don't know. I just feel like there's this feast or famine type of mindset when it comes to long distance relationships. So even the best ones, the ones that, you know, last a long period of time, there's like a feast or famine type of mindset when you're with them or when you're away from them that I feel like doesn't really lend to a quality understanding of how they're actually going to fit into your world and how you're actually going to fit in to theirs. For example, if you live in the same city as the person that you're with, you have the ability to hang out, and it could be quick hangouts too. It could be like, oh, let's grab lunch, let's do dinner, let's do a date night, let's go see a show, let's, you know, do these things. But it's like, okay, after work, I'm going to do this, you know, we're going to do this thing together after work, or, you know, Sunday brunch or whatever. And then you get to spend time like with their friends, or they get to spend time with your friends. And it's more of like, the relationship it's just more woven together than just like, I'm here, let's spend all this time together, and then I'm gone, and all I want to do is see you and talk to you and all that stuff. And I'm not saying that it's bad. I'm not saying that it can't work. I'm just saying that it's more challenging to understand how exactly that person is going to fit into your world, how you're going to fit in there, how you guys are going to be woven together. And also, I feel like you get to see them. I mean, obviously, when you visit them or they visit you, you can get them on a bad day. But I feel like for the most part, because you know that the time is limited, you're on your best, right? Like, you're excited to be with them. You're probably not working. One of the people, like the person visiting, probably isn't working, so they're not stressed out from work. They're probably on some sort of vacation or time off, and vice versa. Like if they're visiting you, they're probably not working, all that kind of stuff. But when you get to see them more regularly, you know, you see them after work and they had a stressful day that day and they're, you know, stressed out or whatever. And you get to see them that way. You get to see them crabby. You get to see them you get to see all different sides of that person. It just gives you a better understanding of who this person is. And I also feel like with long distance, kind of like I would say like the really dark side of it is like they could obviously be living a whole nother life. It's easy to be put together for a week or two when you're visiting them or they're visiting you, and the rest of that time they could be doing whatever the hell, and you don't have any idea what they're actually up to. Not saying that like if you're living in the same city, you're like down their throat and you know everything that they're doing, but I feel like it's a little bit more difficult to be sneaky when you're in the same city and, you know, you got birds in the trees everywhere, you know what I'm saying? The possibility of them getting busted or getting caught doing something that they're not supposed to be doing. So that's kind of how I feel about it. And then, like, I realized that when you're in long distance, you can be on the phone. You're probably actually more verbally communicative than you might be in real life. But you don't have that physical connection. And I feel like having been in long distance relationships and been in local relationships, like moving forward, like I really just need that, the day-to-day, you know, you need their energy. Even if it's not great energy, you know, they wake up on the wrong side of the bed or whatever, like you still need to be in that person's presence. The power of like physical touch, and I know we're in quarantine right now, so there's some limitations on this right now, but the power of just being able to give someone a hug, you know, like they're having a bad day or something tragic happens in their life, they lose a loved one or something like that, you're able to just go over and give them a hug and comfort them, or you guys are able to hold hands and go see a movie. I don't know, I just feel like it's more, like the physical touch aspect is powerful, but I also feel like when you are able to, again, weave it in to life and be like, I'm here for you, let's do this. I just feel like it's, you have a better understanding of who this person is. So if the whole dating process is to get to know somebody, then having that regular, consistent interaction is really important. And that brings me to my next point. Consistency. It's easier to be consistent when you know that all you have to do, I don't want to say all you have to do, but like, okay, you call them every day, you text them every morning, and then you go see them twice a year or something like that. It's easy to be consistent when I feel like it's easier to be consistent when there is less opportunity for spontaneity, if you will. You know, there's less opportunity to be like, hey, let's go to a movie, or let's go to brunch, or let's go see a musical, or like let's go out of town for a weekend or something like that. Like, I think it's easy. I don't know. I personally just feel like it's easier to like shoot a text message and call someone every night than it is to like actively be planning dates and doing all of these the courting process and all that kind of stuff when you are local, when you guys are local together, and just putting a lot of thought and ideas into the dates and stuff like that when you're local, when you're closer together. And then when you are apart, and there really isn't kind of like that daily, weekly, consistency. I feel like it's more challenging to be consistent when you're local, and therefore more difficult to determine whether or not this person's really vibing with you, because it's easy, again, to be consistently sending messages and making phone calls. A little bit more challenging maybe to peel out an evening or a weekend or whatever to spend with you and really putting some thought into a date. Not saying that it's impossible to get to know if somebody's actually into you long distance wise, just saying it makes it a little bit more clear. And you know, it's all about clarity. It's all about being clear and really understanding what somebody is about and what their intentions are for you. So I feel like those are my main points when it comes to long distance dating. Again, not saying that I would say no to everybody. I would definitely say that if you're going to be apart from somebody, make it a short period of time. Like, I know people who have been like dating long distance for years, and I personally just think that's absurd. Are you guys never going to get to a point where you guys are living in the same city? Like, is your whole relationship going to be like that? Or are you going to... See, this has also happened to people. They're in a long distance relationship with somebody for a really long time. And when they actually move in together, or become local to each other, they're like, I don't even like you though. You know, they like realize or whatever, because again, that day to day, that crabby day, good day, all that kind of stuff finally comes together. You feel like your weave pattern ain't right. But you couldn't have gotten that necessarily while you were in long distance, again, because I feel like the feast or famine, like I feel like that energy or that mindset makes you blind to a lot of things that you would otherwise see if you didn't have that there. Like, I just feel like it's another complication. And the last thing we need is an extra complication in this thing. So anyway, those are my 2.5 cents about long distance dating. Let me know in the comments below if you think I'm full of absolute garbage and you're like, no, I've been in a long distance relationship forever and I love it, whatever. Let me know in the comments below if you are in a long distance relationship and how long you've been in that relationship, and if you think it's going really well or if it could use a little help. And let me also know if you plan on eventually like being local to each other, either moving in together or just living in the same city for a period of time before you move in together or get married or whatever. And let me know, on the other hand, if you do not believe in long distance relationships, if you had a bad experience with long distance relationships, let me know in the comments. If you want it to be a little bit more of a private conversation, you can also email me, alex@alexandriaashcroft.com. Thank you so much for hanging out with me, and I will catch you in the next video. Bye.